So Peter Boghossian went to Portland State University with a sign that said there are only two genders, and a part of his street epistemology exercise is whether you agree with that position or disagree. Peter's going to try to get to the base of why you believe what you believe. Now, this thought exercise led to possibly one of the most insane responses you have ever seen on a college campus. We're going to be unpacking a handful of scenes from this video today, but before we do, welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thank you all for being here. If you guys could please hit that like button, make sure to leave a comment down below for the algorithm gods. I'd greatly appreciate it. And then lastly, before we get started, this video is sponsored by my good friends over at Deal Dash. We'll talk about them a little bit more in a bit. So right here, the video is called Confrontation at Portland State University. Did I harm students by asking this question? Link to the full video down in the description below. Let's jump in.
What would it take for you to move, not all the way over there, just one line, just one line?
I guess if they told me how many genders specifically there were, I can't think of anything that would change my opinion, I guess. But you got some friends.
Got some friends.
Oh, you're giving me the finger? Hi. I'm standing in front of the social work building.
So what?
I'm harming individuals by asking that question. Well, you want to come down and have a conversation about it? Why do you want to come down and have a conversation? Oh. Okay, so what would it take for you to move to the strongly agree?
Words are violence. That's what that is. Words are violence. So I just wanted to show that opening scene just so you guys can see kind of how this starts. Because they actually do come down, and this entire episode just gets completely derailed. Now, some of you guys might remember this location, because I was there with Billboard Chris and Peter Boghossian talking about how children can't consent to puberty blockers a handful of months ago. Same spot, maybe the same crazy people, I have no clue. This was actually a little bit before that. So they're coming down, the video gets, you guys, the video just gets like, I mean, they just get more and more insane. Not violent, just insane.
Excuse me. Hi, I'm so curious about what's happening out here.
Oh, it's a critical thinking game where we take a look at claims and you step on a line you want to play.
Well,
You want to watch the game played?
well, we were watching from up there actually because we happened to see the sign from up in the School of Social Work, which is on the 6th floor, and some of our trans students saw the statement, there are only two genders.
Well, thanks for coming down to talk.
$20 says the trans students that she's referring to were either dressed like men or women.
It was pretty activating and upsetting not knowing the context. We thought it was sort of a statement that was being made, but not a thought exercise necessarily.
Would you like to see how the game is played?
No.
No. I think we
Is
understand
it something that
Yeah.
should be a game, though?
An exercise?
I love that response. He just kind of changes the word. Oh, you don't like that word? Exercise. There you go. Because it's just she's not asking that for a legit reason. She's just trying to be disruptive. The lady in the beginning said that she's curious about it. Oh, do you want to watch the gameplay? Do you want to be a part of it? No. Okay. Are you really curious about that then?
Well, just thinking about what it looks like.
Yeah.
What does it look like
To
to
the
see
whole
like
community.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 white men with a sign that says there's only two genders? You could have been like the Westboro Baptist Church for all.
What is white? Why did you identify us on the basis of our race?
Well, are you the best people to be hosting that dialogue?
Amazing response from Peter right there. Why are you addressing us based on our race? Look at this group. You have a white guy saying, oh, well, there's a bunch of white guys. Are you the best people to be talking about this? And obviously he's allowed to talk about it, right? Look at this. We're just going to assume white because they kind of all look light-skinned. White. So a group of white people say, you're a group of white people. Are you the best people to be talking about this? Are you the best people to be talking about? What are you talking about? You're white. All right, you guys, let's take a few moments to talk about today's sponsor, Deal Dash. Now, I know many of you are already bidding on Deal Dash, but for those who don't know, Deal Dash is an auction website that many people either seem to love or hate. If you've seen their ads on TV over the last 15 years, you'll know that they have thousands of auctions every day with brand new items. Right here's just a handful of the items that are up for auction today. I mean, there's literally a car right here. There's iPads that you'll find that are selling for, 10, 15 bucks. I'll search Xbox right here. I want to show you guys this one. Xbox Series X console, this sold for $10.34. That's insane. So you're probably wondering, okay, so what's the catch? Because this just seems absurd. Well, you have to pay for the right to bid. I'll explain. So for instance, here, after you sign up, they'll ask you to buy 275 bids for 30 bucks, which means you can bid 275 times in any of their auctions. Now, every auction starts at $0 with no minimum reserve price, and when you bid, you can at most raise the price by a penny. After you bid, the auction timer counts down by 10 seconds, and if no one else bids in the next 10 seconds, then you win the auction. So Deal Dash hooked me up with 100 bids. Let's go ahead and find some stuff to bid on. All right, so we love a good quality backpack. This one's from Barrel Shack. Let's go ahead and bid. That's Real J. Little zombie. That's me. All right, a super high quality desk chair. Absolutely, I can use those all day. So go check out DealDash.com. When you sign up, use my promo code KLUG100 and you'll get 100 extra free bids on your first bid pack purchase. And if you don't win an auction using these bids or you just don't enjoy the experience, contact DealDash and they'll give you your money back, no questions asked, on your first bid pack purchase. So the downside's really limited. It's worth a try. So you guys do me a favor and check out DealDash.com/KLUG100. Take advantage of this deal. I'll put a link down in the description below. Let's get back into this video.
No, but you...
Be representative of that community.
Okay, but I asked you a question. Why did you identify me and these people on the basis of their race?
What it looks like, right? Kind of like the activating, triggering aspect of it all.
So you think that it's morally acceptable to identify people on the basis of their race?
Great question.
It's not a moral question. It's a matter of like the fact that
It's just
those
about
identities
power and
already
privilege.
exist.
Yeah, and identity and representation, right? So if you had a bunch of queer folks out here asking those kinds of questions and there was...
Well, how do you know we're not queer?
That's true, I don't know, but there's not sort of a representative, holistic, inclusive feeling, especially from up on high. We're looking down and we see this statement being made. We're curious about it. We're also just worried about the harm being done to passersby.
These are adults behaving like this. These are adults behaving like... How crazy is the language that they're using? It's absolutely insane. You guys think that this is ridiculous. It starts to get worse. I will say the responses from Peter in this, and I've worked with Peter. He is incredibly polite. He's very intelligent. He's very respectful. And this truly is, to me, this is a masterclass of how to deal with just insane people. That's what this is. That's what this whole video is. It's a masterclass by Peter Boghossian. Let's move on.
So it seems like a really triggering statement to just say there are two genders, if that's not been your experience. So it's very harmful and very hurtful, and there's human lives that were affected, so I think that's the message we're trying to send, is to maybe consider the questions that you're asking or posing before you begin your thought experiment.
By the way, the reason why they're pushing to create hate speech laws and ban certain speech, this is that Trojan horse. This is the spearhead when it comes to the reasons why they're trying to crack down on First Amendment rights, whether it be online, that's primarily where the debate is right now, online or in person, is saying speech is violence. What you're saying right there, standing there with a sign, doing a thought experiment with people, something that says there are only two genders, right? That is violence. That is hatred. That's causing harm to people. These people are off the rails.
Are you curious about like what we're bringing to you at all, or do you have?
I'm thinking about, I'm extremely curious and I'm extremely respectful. I genuinely respect the fact that you came as opposed to 7 or 8 of you giving me the middle finger and saying F you to me.
Another amazing response right there. Just calling him out, but being respectful when you're doing it. You'll notice that he's not really going on offense. He's kind of just laying out the facts here, right? Oh, I appreciate that you guys came down here instead of yelling F you to me. I appreciate that, right? You really get people's guards down. And I mean, just watching this exchange, he comes off as the winner because he's not the one being psycho and he's just saying it the way it is.
So yeah, so if,
what do you gain from this? Like, what is your reason? That you just want to cause trouble, or like why are you here?
So I'm fascinated. I do street epistemology, and I'm fascinated if the people, epistemology is from the Greek, basically how you know what you think. Okay, so street epistemology is taking it out of the university and bringing it into the street. So I'm very curious. Okay, a sidewalk or a
middle like 20-year-old.
This isn't street epistemology.
You're doing this on the
Okay, if you don't like the word street, you can call it plaza epistemology.
You see how he's not being super aggressive, pushing back on them necessarily. He's entertaining the stupidity in an incredibly calm way. He's saying street epistemology. And their response, this is actually one reason why talking to people like this that are so indoctrinated, it's actually quite difficult because there's no good faith argument. They're just playing games with you. You wouldn't expect a normal human being to say, is this actually street epistemology though? Because we're kind of in a plaza. I mean, are you dumb or are you stupid? Which one is it? Which one is it? But that's what it is. It's always a bad faith argument. There's no good reason why they're asking their questions. The questions are just to be disruptive. They don't care about what he's doing or any of that. They want him off campus. That's why it's 15-1 right there.
The statement on the board that it wasn't a question and that there was no context clues for folks, especially trans folks, to know that this was not your belief, but this is more of a thought experiment.
Okay, would you be more comfortable if it was a question? Like if I put a question mark?
Sure.
Okay, I'm more than happy to put a question at the end.
A question is a question and not a statement.
More than happy to.
Some type of warning or a statement of like what you're doing on another board so people can walk by and like try and understand that. Because from afar it looks...
This is a thought experiment.
Yeah.
They're literally telling him, these are adults that are telling him maybe a trigger warning sign next to what you're doing. I mean, how are these people even, how do they even exist?
This is what we're asking people.
I'm more than happy to do that.
And then that way it can kind of...
I'm more than happy to do that. I only have one board, but I'm more than happy to put on this is a thought experiment and put a question mark. If I put a question mark, I could. I don't know. I'm worried that people wouldn't be able to see it. But I'm more than happy to, if I put a question mark at the end and then I put another one, it's not really, it is a thought experiment, but it's more of an exercise / game starts thought.
Perfect follow-up question.
Experiment. If I put that on the end, would all of the concern vaporize?
No, probably not, because we're talking about real humans with their lived experience and their position.
What did I just say about no good faith argument ever? It's simply to disrupt. And this video is just stacked with them. It is unbelievable. And Peter's way of asking very simple questions, but exposing their BS, exposing their lies, is just, in my view, this is genius level. Because again, he's not going aggressive, but he's just asking those perfect questions. That's totally fine. You guys are all making this a big point right now with the question mark. Let's make it a question. Great. So I'm gonna do that. Will that fix this problem? Nope, it won't. We're just complaining to complain. Like the thing that'll fix the problem is if we silence you. Now, to everyone that's seen my video with Peter Boghossian and Billboard Chris in this exact spot, and by the way, it was actually Peter's recommendation to go to this spot when we went to PSU, but the last time it was so chaotic. You have students and faculty that are blowing music in your ears so you can't hear. My ears were ringing for days after we filmed that video because they just had loudspeakers in my, like, pointing it to my ear while I was trying to get the video done. We got assaulted by students and faculty, or more specifically, adjunct professor, and it was way more out of control than this situation. But what's so wild about this situation is these people, you're able to actually see, right, them a little bit more calm, and you're able to actually see the level of indoctrination that they have received. There's no turning back for these people. They are way too deep into it. They will be this way for the rest of their lives. Videos like this really open people's eyes to the levels of insanity that these leftists have reached. This video has 1.7 million views. People are not watching this being like, oh wow, they seem like level-headed individuals.
You wanted to say, I wanted to hear her through.
No, I get it. And I'm just wondering, like, are any of you all, like, trained professionals in trauma-informed care? Like, if a transgender individual were to come to the space and participate, and then there was a triggering response where they needed emotional support, like, are you ready to support that? Because this conversation can bring up a lot of emotions, and the people that are kind of working within it could be really triggered. But if no one's there as, like, an advocate or support, it could be pretty detrimental to the community you're asking. So I just want to, like, frame that. If you're not having, like, an advocate there as someone that can, like, be an emotional support or regulation for the people that are potentially harmed or triggered in this conversation, whether they're participating or not, like that's a potential thing to think about and could be a flaw in the system, because you need to have someone to be able to support that emotionally, mentally, and for people's trauma.
Oh, you guys. Oh, okay. So she's saying now they need a trained professional that is able to babysit adult babies. Sometimes you don't need to push back on them. Sometimes you can just let them say what they need to say, ask some reasonable questions, and that's it. This is all the video needs to show to change people's minds when it comes to saying, okay, these woke college students are actually out of their minds. I'm gonna run away from that, because they see how ridiculous it looks on camera. Two things that are super interesting about this, right? She's talking about you need trained professionals that are here. All of these people just said that they're in the social work kind of program. I would imagine that they're specializing or very interested in this topic. That's probably one reason why they said that, because that would be their idea of their job. That's what they get paid to do. That's why she brought that up, because in her head, she's that important person, that trained professional that could be there to watch after students that, oh my gosh, they suffered by having a conversation with another adult and it was respectful. Oh gosh. But also, this is actually another example of that sort of obsession with authority. We had that Moms for Liberty video that I did recently where the ladies were asking me, are you a librarian? How can you have an opinion about these books being in schools if you're not a librarian? If you're not a trained professional, you literally can't do anything or say anything. I mean, that's kind of where they go with this. It's more of a lazy argument instead of actually something that they truly believe, I would argue. You know, they just kind of want a cheap argument. Are you a trained professional? Are trained professionals here? It's just another one of their bad faith arguments.
So the people who watch this, because this is being videoed, do you think that the people who watch this, who don't agree with you, as a result of having watched this, will then agree with you?
I'm not asking them to agree with me.
But don't you want to facilitate social change?
I'm asking you to have a different perspective to understand where we're coming from, because we came down here to try and understand where you're coming from.
Did you?
I don't think that anyone.
Did you really though?
To decide if this is
okay, but you have to please be honest with me. Is that really why you came down, to understand?
Oh yeah, yes.
Yeah.
We were very.
Okay, and what is your understanding of why I'm doing this?
Let's care about how you're.
It's not impact.
What I'm sorry, what I haven't heard from you. What is it?
It's not. I just want to tell you, we don't care about your thought experiment. We care about the impact that it's having on.
Okay, so you didn't come down to understand why I'm doing this then.
Amazing. I wanted to end it on that one, you guys, just because of how he handles that question right there. Them saying, oh, we just came down here to understand. Peter really capitalized on that, because obviously they didn't. The entire time they're asking bad faith questions, they're trying to disrupt. I think one of them even at one point says that they're trying to disrupt. That is the proper direction that he took it right there. He nailed it on the head. What have you learned from coming down here? You're saying that you're curious about it. You're saying that you came down here to learn about it. Okay, what have you learned? Show me. An absolutely amazing job exposing them right there. And Peter, if you're watching this, by the way, great job on this, man. This is just really a masterclass of how to deal with people that are completely indoctrinated. It's funny, I'm looking at this plaza right here. I'm getting flashbacks from mobs of 50 people around us while we're filming a video here. I definitely have to go back soon. If you guys enjoyed this video, please let me know down in the comment section below. Let me know how you think Peter handled this. Let me know what you thought about these conversations. And also, I'm curious if any of you guys are students, if you've dealt with people behaving like this on your college campus, let me know. If you guys enjoyed my commentary, please hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe for more videos and hit that bell notification button so you're notified next to my post. And I will catch you guys all in the next video.